Queen has cancelled her two-day trip to Northern Ireland after she reluctantly accepted medical advice to rest instead for the next few days.
So the question arising out of this is it maybe time for the Queen to slow down a bit more permanently and hand over a bit more responsibility to Charles and William?
Well, joining us to discuss this, royal biographer Angela Levin and former press secretary to the Queen, Dickie Arbiter. Very good morning to you both. Angela Levin, William and Prince Prince Charles both have more to do at the moment because Harry and Meghan have obviously left the country. Prince Andrew is obviously not working. Should they be doing more?
Well, I think they can organise things in a slightly different way, but they are enjoying working really hard and doing what they can. I mean, they want to prove themselves still, don't they, that they will stand by the Queen and stand by the country.
Do you think they should have to step up and do more, and that the Queen, it is time, at the age of 95, you know, most of us wouldn't be working the amount that she does at the age of 95. Is it time that she hands over more responsibility, do you think?
Well, I think very definitely yes, but I think she feels very guilty. She made a promise when she was 21 that with God's help she'll remain as Queen until she dies. But there's two things. One is that the Pope has retired and he said the same thing. And so it's not a criticism of Christianity in any way. And secondly, people live much longer. And so there should be an allowance in her head that lets her do it. At the moment, I think it's a fight between mind and body. She's incredibly alert, she's very quick-witted, but her body can't take it. And I think that we should encourage her to step back further because I do know old people feel that if everybody wants them, they have to keep on going. She does love it, of course, but I think that she should look after herself, not immediately retire, but she should do the platinum Jubilee, of course, but she should do far less and very little travel and look after herself and enjoy herself. Prince Philip did the same thing. You know, he stepped back because he felt he deserved a break. He's tougher and, of course, he wasn't king, but she should feel that she is enabled to do that. And I think all of us pushing her that you can live another 10 or 20 years and stay on the throne because everybody around the world likes you, it is not a very helpful thing to do.
Angela, I think quite a few people, including me, would take issue with you when you say that it's a battle of mind over body, because I think she looks incredibly fit, actually, for a 95-year-old person. She walks smoothly. She doesn't walk with any kind of a limp of any description. Yes, she started taking a stick, but she doesn't really use it. It seems to be more sort of a psychological prop than anything else. And a lot of people much younger than her have been using sticks for a long time. I think she looks in pretty good nick. And actually, in terms of this whole conversation, it's kind of otiose, isn't it, Dickie? Because the Queen is going to do what the Queen wants to do. And she made it crystal clear earlier this week when she was offered the dubious honour of being Oldie of the Year, basically saying, naff off. I'm absolutely fine. So she's made her feelings about this crystal, hasn't she, Dickie?
She's made her feelings very crystal, in using your words, telling the oldie to nap off. What everybody's forgetting about, yes, Angela mentioned her 21st birthday speech in which she dedicated herself the whole of her life, but we forget about the coronation, and she was anointed in the eyes of God. She took the coronation oath, which means that she does the job for life. You can't compare a sovereign to a pope. And it was very unusual for the Pope to retire. It's never happened before. Usually they die in post. And the Queen, anybody decide to tell the Queen, you've got to step back, you can't do anymore, is really fighting with fire. She will know what she can do. We've got to look at what's happened over the past month. She had a very strenuous reception at Windsor Castle a couple of nights ago, and that probably took its toll, which is probably the reason why they cancelled going to Northern Ireland. But she's opened two parliaments, the Scottish Parliament, the Welsh Parliament. She was going to Northern Ireland to open their parliament. And it is a lot to ask of anybody of any age to do. She's travelled more than 1,000 miles. And I think everything's just come together in engagements in a lump. The officials at Buckingham Palace will be looking very carefully to pace the engagements. Yes, William and Catherine and Charles and Camilla are doing more already, but there is only so much they can do. The Queen will be paced more come the start of the new year and the Platinum Jubilee year. We've got Remembrance Day coming up. We've got the Festival of Remembrance. They are sacrosanct in the Queen's diary. And she wants to be up at COP26 in Glasgow next week. So we will see more pacing.
I think that's really, Dickie Arbiter, I think that's really interesting language as a sort of PR specialist, that you're saying, no, she won't, you know, she won't pull back from doing all of her engagements. She's utterly committed. But it'll be paced more, perhaps. You know, the idea that there won't be an official with pulling back, but there will be a different pace. Effectively, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, it is. There will be more pacing. What we tend to forget, too, is when we don't see the Queen, she's going through her official papers every single day. So there is a workload. And all these engagements she's had 8 of them since coming down from Balmoral. She's had 6 audiences. That takes a toll on anybody, whether you're 95, 55 or 45. And she will pace, and she will ask her officials to pace her engagements more. She can't accept everything like she used to, but she will pace. And to suggest that she should step back, retire, is quite patronising, and it's something that she would not countenance.
I agree with that. I agree with that. It is somewhat patronising for someone as effective as her. But listen, let's consult the voice of the people on this.
OK, yes, we did put it to Twitter, if that is the voice of the people. Is it time for the Queen to reduce her royal duties? You see, 84% said yes, 16% no. And I think that's because everybody wants to protect the Queen. We don't want her doing events which are going to leave her unable to do other things. But
I think we have to trust her to protect herself.
Yeah.
She knows, I mean, you know, she's been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
I think she knows what she's about. And I don't think we can possibly underestimate the importance of that vow she made before God. I mean, we live in an increasingly secular society where religion increasingly takes a back step. But her faith is so important to her, and her relationship with God is so important to her. I think we have to bear that in mind.